What's up YouTube? Steve here from Fishy Face Aquatics. What if I told you there was a live food that you could feed your fish that was super nutritious and easy to hatch? Stay tuned to find out more. Alright guys, so the food I'm talking about today is live baby brine shrimp. Super simple to hatch. Takes about 24 hours. Throw some salt and some water, the eggs, boom. Very nutritious, super nutritious, probably the best food that you can feed your fish. And next I'm going to take you through the process of how I do it. Alright guys, so here we are in the fish room. This is my brine shrimp hatchery setup. This is the Ziss brine shrimp hatchery, which I think is awesome. I love it. Some people have different complaints. They say, well, you need to make something we can hook a tube on at the bottom, drain them out, which I found a piece of airline fits in there perfectly, which solves that problem. But yeah, and then some people say, well, the stand's too short. Well, as you'll see when we actually do this, you just lift the whole thing up. It's not that big of a deal. I get where they're coming from, but ultimately in the end, this Ziss brine shrimp hatchery is freaking awesome. It really is. So let's get to feeding the fish. Alright, so I'm getting ready to feed baby brine. The first thing I do is I pull my airline that makes all the bubbles. Have that hooked up through another pump. I'm sure you hear the humming. That's the pump that runs my whole fish room. Pull the lid off. And just plop that down into a Rubbermaid bin I have right here. And then I'll get my hose hooked up that I use to drain it. So move my light out of the way. And that hose fits right in there. Put the nozzle in the bowl. Now lift it up and open up the drain valve. Now nothing's going to come out because the valve I have down here in the airline tubing is closed. So that just allows me to get everything set up. And I'll put the light back under there because the baby brine are attracted to light. So they're all going to congregate down there at the bottom, and I'll get a shot of that here in a second. Alright guys, so it's been a couple minutes and been letting these shrimp settle, get attracted to the light. I don't know if you can see, but see all that golden color down there? That's all those baby brine shrimp coming down to the bottom and be attracted to that light. Alright, so let's show you how we get them all out and feed them to the fish. Alright guys, so you might notice I have the brine shrimp hatchery on the shelf up here, and I have a red bowl down here. And what I do is I drain them down to the airline tubing I stuck in there, and I put a piece of egg crate. I'm sure you've seen this used in various applications in fish keeping. Get it at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. And I set it over top of the bowl. And I use a strainer which will run the water with the brine shrimp through, drain the water out, and leave just the brine shrimp. So I'll set that down. Turn my valve on, and that in turn is going to drain out of the hatchery and get all those baby brine shrimp in there. Alright guys, so you can see right here, we got that airline hose coming down, draining the water out of the brine shrimp hatchery. See all that golden orangish color? That's all the baby brine shrimp. And once that all drains, I'm going to show you how I feed it to the fish. Alright guys, so we got all the water drained out. All the shrimp in the shrimp catcher, as I call it down here. One thing I failed to mention: when you make baby brine shrimp, they're saltwater shrimp, so you have to have salt in the water for them to survive. Now, what I used to use was this API aquarium salt, and I'm sure some of you guys have used this for many uses, and it works great. But what I found to be more cost effective is the marine salt. It lasts me a lot longer. So you see this tub is not even halfway empty, and I've been using it for over a month. I got this bag. I think it's like, what is it? 15 pounds of the instant ocean mix, and yeah, it was like 10, 15 bucks, something like that. So this stuff is gonna last me a long time, a lot longer than this will, based on the price. Not that there's anything wrong with this, but from a cost perspective, the marine saltwater mix tends to last me a lot longer. And I noticed since I started using that, I had a lot higher hatch rates, meaning a lot more brine shrimp. Alright, let's move on to the next step. Alright, so for our next step, what I've done, I had this little Rubbermaid container I filled mostly up with fresh water. The reason I filled it with fresh water is because we're going to be using a pipette to put the brine shrimp in, and I do my best to try and keep the salt out of my freshwater tank. So we'll take the strainer here and we'll just dip that in there. And right here I have my pipette, so let's feed some fish. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do, you see the brine shrimp in there. I'm just going to take my pipette, suck some up, and I'm just going to squirt it in. This is my yellow tiger Endler tank, and these guys love this stuff. Next, we'll go to the purple mosaic guppy tank. And I like using the pipette because I feel it gives me a lot greater control over where I put the food. So let's go to the next one, which is my Bosemani rainbows. We'll zoom on them a little bit. Kind of hard to see. And then what I do with everything that's left, I put it in my 75-gallon community tank, and we'll go there next. Alright, now when I feed these guys the rest of the brine shrimp, this is easy because I just pull the strainer out, set the bowl of water to the side, and I turn off my circulation pump so they don't blow everywhere, and then I just put it in and dump it out and let them eat. And they love it. I'll try and get some footage of that for y'all. See all those baby brine. They love it. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you how I set up a new batch of baby brine. We have the saltwater mix we talked about earlier. I'm just going to put 2 tablespoons of that in. And what I do is I dip my measuring spoon in here just to rinse off any salt that's on there. And then we're going to put in the baby brine shrimp eggs. Alright guys, got the brine shrimp eggs. There's a double seal. There's a plastic lid and then like a paint can lid. So I use a little screwdriver to get it off. Now I only use 1/8 of a tablespoon. So I'm not feeding a whole lot of tanks and it works out perfect. So put it in. Close up my brine shrimp container. And put the top back on. And then plug in our airline. Oops, I dropped it. There we go. 24 hours, so I have baby brine shrimp to feed. Alright guys, I hope that video helped you. Might give you some ideas on how to set up your own brine shrimp hatchery. I definitely suggest the Ziss brine shrimp hatchery. It's really awesome. It's really helped me out, you know, to allow me to feed my fish and my fry live baby brine shrimp every day. So thanks for watching, and you know what? If you do me a favor, like, subscribe, put a comment down there, and smash that notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video. Thanks for checking me out. I really, really, really appreciate y'all. Have a good day and keep on keeping fish.